Hello, this is Josh Blanchard, your instructor for public speaking. In this next PowerPoint video, we're going to spend a little bit of time together looking at finding your voice, or rather the benefits and essentials in taking a class such as public speaking. So first off, let's look at some of the basics in terms of answering the question, what does public speaking have to offer? Public speaking will give you an opportunity to really sharpen a lot of your communication skills, not just for public speaking, but also for intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, as well as communication within the workplace, or what we call organizational communication. Some of those basic competencies include overall communication competency, education, and building your confidence when it comes to public speaking. Another factor that really weighs into public speaking is your presentation of yourself as well as your ideas. This class will help you to sharpen your skills on being a better consumer of public messages, particularly in the world we live in today, which is so inundated with misinformation and disinformation. Also, there are benefits that will help improve your basic writing and your rhetorical skills. These are skill sets that can transfer into literature courses or composition classes, as well as into your everyday work. There are many practical benefits to taking a class such as public speaking. Beyond just developing an array of your basic skills, also there's opportunities to become a more successful or professional person in your everyday life. A recent survey from the National Association of Colleges and Employers Job Outlook looked at communication skills and honesty and integrity as a job seeker's most important skill and qualities. Finally, there's a practical benefit of becoming a better citizen. You may have opportunities to engage in your communities, speaking on behalf of your family or your friends, perhaps at a school board meeting or a town hall meeting. You might be asked to give a speech at a friend's wedding or to give a memorial at a loved one's funeral or celebration of life. These are all everyday activities that we all encounter, and public speaking will help you sharpen your skills and your confidence to be able to approach those opportunities when they come to you. Additionally, there are significant personal growth benefits as it relates to taking a public speaking course. To begin, there's opportunities for self-learning. As you select topics for your speeches and your presentations, you'll have the opportunity to explore your interests, your passions, what you like, what you dislike, and really get to question some of the ideas that you may have about the world in which you live. When you present a speech, it requires that you do additional extensive ethical research, which gives you multiple perspectives on your topic. This research experience also lends the opportunity for you to see your topic from other people's perspectives and other people's experiences, which leads to this idea of being other-oriented. And you'll also gain multiple perspectives, not only from your own multiple perspectives of a topic, but also seeing how other people think about your topic. Additionally, public speaking gives individuals the opportunity to expand their own cultural horizons, specifically when we look at two different terms, ethnocentrism and stereotypes. Ethnocentrism is the tendency to presume that one's own identity or culturally defined way of seeing and doing things is the correct way and the only way, and it is the standard against which all other worldviews and behaviors are judged. Ethnocentrism is a natural part of human perception process. Everyone looks at the world through their own unique cultural lenses or lens. And public speaking requires that you look beyond your own lens and see how other people may look at a certain topic or have experiences in the world. And again, that leads to us being able to break down our own bias and our own experiences and see things from a broader perspective. It also allows us to overcome stereotypes. Stereotypes are generalized assumptions that supposedly represent the essential character of ethnicities, gender, religious affiliations, sexual orientation, age, and other ways in which people may identify, including class or education, ability or disability, and the entire spectrum of individual identities. Stereotyping, of course, assumes that the individual or the collective that is being stereotyped actually identifies with these specific identifiers. Regardless, when individual speakers think about their topics and prepare their speech, it really requires that we see beyond our own stereotypes of generalized assumptions of individuals and people groups and see people and ideas and concepts in a much more broad perspective. So now that we have looked at some personal growth benefits, let's look at your own powerful knowledge benefits. We'll be able to sharpen and hone our public speaking skills, particularly as it relates to its interactive process, which we talked a little bit about in the last video. Public speaking is very dynamic. It can certainly change relationships, self-definitions, assumptions. It has the power to establish group norms and boundaries, or to advance cultural values. It has the power to spread fear or inspiration in communities, or even nationally or globally. Public speaking provides opportunities for public discourse, rhetoric, or debate of ideas, as well as public, social, cultural growth and healing. We'll look at lots of examples of how powerful public speeches and presentations, such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, really ignited a nation and helped move a cultural movement, in this case, the civil rights movement. So these are all the benefits that, of course, this course in public speaking can provide for you. But what does this course ask of you as individual students? Well, first and foremost, it is important that there's an overall respect and integrity of ideas and information. This requires speaking from responsible knowledge, which of course means researching honestly, fairly, and critically. We want to make sure that we avoid quoting out of context or misquoting someone. So we want to focus on quoting in context. And also avoid academic dishonesty, plagiarism. Even accidental plagiarism is still plagiarism. The best way to work around this is to always cite your sources. And we'll spend some time this semester talking a little bit about the most appropriate ways to do that. We'll also explore how AI is changing the landscape of ideas, particularly in higher education and also in communication today. This course also asks that generally students have a concern for consequences, meaning that their speeches have an impact on those who listen. Audience members may take your ideas and take your perspectives on certain themes or topics, and that can influence their behaviors or their ways of thinking as well. So it's important that we speak ethically, with quality and integrity. We also ask our audience to have a shared responsibility for listening, being an encouraged and attentive listener, provide critical feedback that can be helpful for your peers. This valuable criticism will actually be offered back to students throughout the semester. So I hope that the overview for finding your voice, the benefits for taking this class, and what this class expects from each student has been helpful. Now I'd encourage you to take a few minutes and watch this video by Julian Treasure called The Art of Speaking So People Want to Listen. It's a great overview, including some tips and tricks for how to be a better speaker, as well as working with some physical tricks to help get your body and your voice prepared for speaking. I'll share the link for this YouTube video after this PowerPoint video is complete. So that wraps us up for this particular video. Let's take a few minutes and look at the upcoming assignments due for next week. You want to actually take advantage of looking at chapters 1, 2, and 12 in your textbook. That covers finding your voice, building confidence as a speaker, and then delivering your speech. Next week, we'll have an in-class activity that goes over vocal and physical presentation skills or delivery skills. And then we're going to jump into our first speech together, an icebreaker presentation. Also take a moment to look at the online thread discussion number 1, which is a short clip from Dr. Martin Luther King's historic I Have a Dream speech, also known as the Mountaintop Speech. There are associated questions, particularly regarding to Dr. King's delivery. You'll want to answer those questions in the online thread discussion. You can also reply or comment on your classmates' discussions, question responses as well. And that wraps us up for this week. We'll see you next week in class. Have a great afternoon. Keep speaking.